morning, everybody. How are you? I'm Robin. Oh, thanks, buddy. Take 3. Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm laughing because Buddy's got the zoom zooms. He just ran through everything and hit the camera at the first go. But anyhow, good morning again, and welcome to Southern Latitudes. This is my house garden, and this is going to be the focus of today's video. But first I have to do some cutting of the grass just on this section of the yard because the rain keeps catching me, or the heat. And so today we're going to focus on trying to completely clear out this garden, completely amend everything. I got to remove all the black plastic. It's done its job for the summer while I was down and out recovering. And so I don't have a lot of weeds to deal with, thankfully. And so now it's time to get it all done. And I have, oh, gracious, we had over 8 inches of rain last week, like in 3 days time. And so I really, my little plants that are in the cups, they're suffering and they need to get in the ground somewhere because this rain is just drenching them. And so let's do that today. But first, I'm going to put you on speed, okay, time lapse. But first I got to cut the grass. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to quickly show you why I use the black mulch, because I know there's a lot of purists out there that say don't use anything, just do tons of like pine mulch or whatever kind of, you know, live tree mulching, which would have been great. But I was going into back-to-back surgeries for my eyes, for cataract surgery in particular, and I knew there was no way I was going to be able to pull weeds in this garden. And so I made the decision. I already had this sitting around in the shed because I used to use it in the very beginning. And I like it for some things, especially in this purpose. When you have, you know, inches and inches of rain for months. Sorry about the cicadas. They're really loud today, aren't they? Every day, actually. But so I knew when I was going to have to, you know, not see good, have to be off my feet. You can't bend over for however many days. I can't remember how many, a week. I think you can't bend over for a week, and then I had to do it again. You know, and then you're worried about doing the damage to your surgery. So anyhow, surgical site. So anyhow, what I did was I just put the black plastic in, and wherever it was, it's completely clean. You see? It's just perfectly black, sandy, dirt soil. Where the sun was able to get in, I have a little bit of a weeding mess. And that's okay. I had none in this corner. See? I could have had a whole garden like that. When this garden was first being established, this St. Augustine used to come in. That's when I was early in YouTube. The St. Augustine grass would come all the way to about here. I had awful time clearing, I don't know, what is that, like 8-10 feet worth of St. Augustine that had crept over this whole corner, maybe a little less on this side, but it was always coming in. And as you can see, I have that mess going on up there by the pineapples. But I just threw in the towel and I said, okay, we're just going to do it. We're just going to use it. And it is going to save me a lot of time. All right, now let's continue with the progress. right, you guys, as you can see, I got a lot of work done. I got it tilled. It's essentially prepped of all the things that were supposed to be gone are gone. I'm trying, I don't know what I'm doing here with the okra. I'm admitting that up front, okay? So normally I would just rip everything out, but I did hear some people say that they cut back their okra and then like in the fall they get like a second crop. And then there's the other crowd that does a secondary sowing and just gets rid of all the old and starts again. So I don't know. I thought I would kind of split down the middle and I would just take those dead tops off of it and see if I can't get some growth out of like this middle or bottom section. See how it puts in these extra branches, if you will. I might be able to get some growth out of that. Now, I really don't need any more okra for canning or freezing, but it would be nice to keep on having some okra in through at least till about November, and then it usually is dead by then. But have a little bit for fresh eating once in a while. I don't need a whole lot. You know, the family's kind of sick of okra, but I still like it a little bit. A lot, actually, I like it a lot. For breakfast. So as you can see, I just made some hard decisions. I pulled out even the old, I know like onions can keep going and stuff, but I just went ahead and pulled it out, gave myself a clean palette. A lot of the old peppers, well, maybe about 50% of them are dead, and then the other ones look like crap. Just saying it, you know, telling you what you already see. Looks like crap, but they might be able, especially when I put in a compost around their base, and I will do the final weeding of around the bases at that point. But when I put the compost there, it will give them reinvigorate them, if you will, and make them hopefully have a really nice fall recovery, especially as we start getting back into normal human temperatures. Right now, I mean, it's just unbelievably hot. It only, they say it only feels like 91, and we're supposed to be in like the mid 80s at this point, temperature wise. But with the humidity being what it is, and we're supposed to have storms by 2 o'clock, so it's just unbearable out here. But I'm doing what I can. I just came in from a 20-minute break. You know, just sit down, cool off, get my blood pressure down, have a couple glasses of water. And I'm ready to come back out here. My son's gonna join me, I think, soon. And my goal is to get at least like 4 wheelbarrows of compost on this section. I can do this other midsection a little bit later, but I definitely want to get the onions and the peppers in the ground today before the storms hit. So that's my goal. I'm right now in full sun. It should be getting cloudy as I go, but we'll see. All right, let's do this. Hey you guys, so I'm gonna come over here to the shade. So it's 1:15, my battery did die, sorry, while I was doing the mushroom compost. And so far I've done 9 wheelbarrows full of mushroom compost on about 50% of what I wanted to do, or maybe more, I don't know. This whole section I wanted to get done is done. And then I started the next section, but it's just too hot and I need to get on in the pool. I'm sorry, I look a mess. But anyhow, so this is what remains, this little section right in here. And then we'll tackle whatever going on with the okra later. But I have, hold on, let me walk this way. I have put in some compost between the patty pans. I was a little too thin. I needed another wheelbarrow down here. And then I was a little too heavy down here, but the shovel wasn't where I was. But that'll just kind of come right here in between this row. So I think for the most part, and this needs flattening out. So I think for the most part, this is where I'm going to take a break until I feel the weather is breaking a little bit more. The clouds are starting to show up, but it's still incredibly hot. And the next thing I'll do is put down the drip lines, and then I will get those onions in this back corner, and then I will get fill in the blanks with the peppers. That was the plan all along, is to take the new peppers, bring them over here, and fill in the blanks. I totally forgot the funny part. So I've seen one blue glove so far, and but he's trying to eat the compost. Don't let your dogs do that. Oh, and I saw a thermometer. Oh my goodness. I found somebody's thermometer, so that was kind of gross. It makes you wonder what's in that compost, huh? Well, I guess what's supposed to be in it besides the stuff that's supposed to be in it. Ew. All right, you guys, so let's put let's put an ending to this video. Oh my. She just had to do that right now, right? She's always stealing the show. So yesterday ended up being a really long day, and it ended with thunderstorms, but instead of at 2 o'clock, it was more like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But it did allow me to accomplish enough. I was pretty much collapsed at 2:45 between the heat. So let me explain to you what all I got done, what you saw in the video, and where it is all placed. So these are evergreen bunching scallions or bunching onions, however you want to call that. So I had them all clumped last year. So I decided to spread them out and put them into a really nice row. And they end right there where the cage is. Now I had one Alma paprika that seemed to survive out of my early sowing. I think that was in September, but I'll put the date at the bottom. So I put the little Alma paprika there. And I had two of the red Marconis right there. I popped them in on either side of the jalapeno, that's right there. And then I had several of the bullnose bell peppers. So that's all right in here, which is nice. And then I was very disappointed because I'm trying to absolutely stock back up on Alma paprikas, and I've had a couple fouls in a row. I'm not going to let that deter me. So I put in fresh seed in here. We're going to just start it all over again. The heat got to everything. We're just crazy hot. I'm sure the rest of the country is too. You guys know what I'm talking about. I ended up with 3 eggplants. These are Black Beauty eggplants, the traditional ones right here. And then 4 Moby, M-O-B-Y, cherry tomatoes. And those suckers, they were reaching for the sky even though they were sitting in full sun. So they must have been, oh my gosh, 1.5 feet tall. So I did what I could to put them like a foot down in the ground, or close to a foot down in the ground, and just leave the rest here, and hopefully they'll sprout out and be happy. Yeah, and then, boy, these Zephyr squash do not look really good. The bugs are really tearing them up. I don't know how much they're gonna survive. I think I stepped on it and cracked my pepperoncini in there. The patty pans look strong. Not today, I have too much going on, but we're gonna finish out this row and maybe make a second video of that. My eggplants, just so you know, they were slated to be in over here, and I usually don't put too much over here by the chicken coop, but the eggplants were supposed to be here, and that sounded like a good idea, but at the last minute, I was thinking, hopefully this coop comes down this winter while these are all still growing. But I didn't want this to become a footpath either for people taking down stuff or for Buddy, who likes to destroy things over here. So I was like, what can I put over on this side that you know, requires a cage? So that I moved the eggplants from the inner side where, you know, they're going to be tall, and that made sense. It still makes sense to have put them over there, but I don't think it makes it less sense to put them in the front of the garden, because the peppers are going to be pretty tall. The cherry tomatoes will probably just make it to December. All this, well, I don't know if the eggplants have come out, but you know, I'll keep them on the short side, and we'll just, you know, hope that the cages kind of make sort of like a fence barrier between the dog and then when the coop comes down. So that was my thinking, my reasoning. So that leaves this spot open for whatever. I know I had talked about putting salanova, is that how you say it? The lettuce, the beautiful little lettuce. I was thinking of putting it back in here. The patty pans will stay until about December or November, probably November. And then celery goes back in its place. And then I also have another open spot here once okra goes. So I'm not 100% certain what I'm putting up here. I have to go back and check the board, but or maybe nothing. No, there'll always be something, always, because we don't let garden space go to waste. So anyhow, you guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this project. It was really some serious garden maintenance and then transplanting. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.